I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Barricade Extreme HD tire carrier fitting all 2007 to 2016 JKs. This carrier is designed specifically to work with Barricade's Extreme HD rear bumper, so this will work whether you're purchasing the bumper and the carrier as a kit, or if you've already purchased the rear bumper and you're looking to upgrade your tire carrier. There are a couple of different issues that can occur when you have a large spare tire on your factory spare tire mount. One of those is that the tailgate hinges on your Jeep can start to wear out, and you'll notice that when you have to start picking up on the end of the tailgate every time you open it and close it. Another issue that can occur is when you have a large spare tire on your factory spare tire mount, the thin metal of the mount can fatigue and eventually break. This will especially happen if you don't have your tire pressed tightly up against the tailgate and the tire is allowed to torque and vibrate around. The third issue is that the welds on the tailgate itself can break, causing a lot of vibration and noise from the tailgate. Adding a bumper-mounted spare tire carrier or a heavy-duty tub-mounted spare tire carrier are both ways to fix that problem. And this tire carrier in particular has a lot of features that I really like. This setup, when you add the bumper and the tire carrier together, is a little bit pricey, but it's very heavy duty and completely adjustable. So like I said, this carrier is really well built, and it's covered in this textured black powder coat finish that will resist both rust and corrosion, match your Barricade Extreme HD rear bumper, and also match a lot of the factory black plastic accents on the Jeep. But aside from being well built, this bumper has a lot of features that I really like. And one of those is right up here in the spare tire mount itself. The mount is adjustable both up and down and in and out. That up and down adjustability is nice because it allows you to keep your spare tire as low as possible, giving you the maximum amount of view out of your back window, but also allows you to put the tire up as high as it needs to be to clear the bumper. The in and out adjustability allows you to keep the spare tire tight up against the tire carrier regardless of what back spacing your spare tire has. Another feature I like is these bumpers right here. These are adjustable and they're positioned in a spot where they'll hit your factory tailgate snubbers. And what that allows you to do is keep the tire carrier nice and tight up against the tailgate. So between the spare tire mount keeping the tire tight up against the carrier and these snubbers keeping the carrier tight up against the tailgate, it's going to eliminate any rattles and any metal fatigue from things torquing and moving around. Another way this carrier is designed to eliminate rattles and noise is with the latch mechanism. This latch is both spring-loaded and has a rubber isolator, all designed to keep the tire carrier closed nice and tight, so again, it won't have any rattles or vibrations, but also allows you to open and close it really easily, even with a big, heavy spare tire mounted on it. The last feature I want to point out about this carrier is the spindle side of things. This spindle is, of course, really beefy, really strong, and it's going to be able to hold up the weight of the carrier and your spare tire. But the nice part about it is that it's fully greasable, and the way that the spare tire carrier mounts onto the spindle means that even if you neglect it for a while and it starts to get a little bit tight or a little bit rusty, you'll still be able to remove the bolts, take the carrier off, clean things up and grease it properly and put it all together and keep it moving. If you have a sealed unit and the tire carrier seizes onto the spindle, you know how difficult or sometimes impossible it can be to get the carrier off of the spindle. Along with the tire carrier and all the features that I mentioned, this kit will also include all of the hardware you need to get it mounted on your Barricade Extreme HD rear bumper. So I do really like this tire carrier and bumper combination, but as I mentioned before, there are other solutions to the issues that a large spare tire can cause, and that would be a tub-mounted tire carrier. And those have some benefits as well. The nice thing about a tub-mounted tire carrier is that you can get literally any bumper on the market. You don't have to find one that has a tire carrier that you can purchase for it. And with a tub-mounted carrier, you can open and close your tailgate in one motion with one hand. With a tire-mounted carrier like this, you have to first open the tire carrier and then open the tailgate. One other area that you will have to consider, regardless of what type of tire carrier you add onto your Jeep, is a new third brake light. Oftentimes when you're running a larger spare tire, the spare tire will cover your third brake light, and you will need a third brake light in a lot of areas to stay legal. There's a Barricade adjustable third brake light bracket available, or a couple of other options that you can go with. Because this carrier is designed specifically to work with the Barricade Extreme HD rear bumper, it's going to install on that bumper really easily. Between the bumper and the tire carrier, you're going to have all of the hardware, the spindles, the brackets, the latches, everything you need to get everything installed. The first step in the installation is to assemble the tire carrier itself, and that means installing the bumpers, the spare tire mount, and the latch all onto the carrier. You're going to leave all of those bolts loose because you'll want to be able to adjust things once you get the carrier on the bumper and your spare tire onto the carrier. Once you install the carrier onto the bumper and have your spare bolted up, you'll be able to make the proper adjustments to get your tire nice and tight up against the tailgate using the adjustable tire mount, and make the adjustments on these bump stops to keep the tire carrier nice and tight up against the tailgate. The whole installation process should take you about 2 hours or less, and you won't need any specialty tools, just some traditional hand tools. I think you get a lot of value and a lot of features when you purchase this tire carrier and bumper combination. And the fact that you can purchase the bumper early on and then add the tire carrier later allows you to spread out some of that cost. However, any way you look at it, it is a good chunk of money. There are a lot of carriers on the market that are similarly priced, and certainly some that are going to be less expensive, but those less expensive carriers aren't going to be as well built, and they're certainly not going to have all the features that are in this tire carrier that are designed to keep everything nice and tight and rattle free so nothing's going to fatigue or make any noise. So if you're looking for a really heavy-duty tire carrier and bumper combination with a lot of features that's going to hold up well, be rattle-free, and not fatigue over time, this is a really nice option, even though you are going to pay for it. So that's my review of the Barricade Extreme HD tire carrier fitting all 2007 to 2016 JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.